So what God has sent me into the world to say and to proclaim this very night, this very moment, is that 2011 is going to be the year of the Guru. And I'm going to give you some detail and some explanation that needs to be spoken. There's a great movement in this world, in the New Age community, and I hear it spoken. I hear it spoken by some very, very famous spiritual teachers. I've even heard it spoken by a couple of masters, which is shocking to me, but mostly by spiritual teachers who are not enlightened, though they might be world famous with best-selling books and have made tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, which has helped this movement gain momentum. And that proclamation has been and is that the age of the Guru is over, and you don't need anyone, and you're all masters, we're all enlightened, we don't need anyone, I'm sovereign, and all this other garbage, which is completely ignorant and very, very fear-based and egomaniacal. Beloveds, just to set the record straight, the age of the Guru is not over. The age of the Guru has not begun. It begins in 41 minutes. The age of the Guru on planet Earth begins now. Masters have existed for thousands of years. They've been relegated to the catacombs and to mystery schools and in large part to India. And yes, they've come out of the closet a little bit, but the collective has not accepted them. The collective condemns them, avoids them, blasphemes them, disgraces them, or tries to. Masters can't be disgraced, not real ones, but what they try to do amongst others. And so the age of the Guru has not begun. There have been hints and wafts of things people have said here that have alluded to this, and testimonials to the very same. Trying to liberate oneself and to merge in God and restore your divinity and walk as God on earth alone, without the help of ones who have done it themselves, is tantamount to being in the center of a pool of quicksand that's 25 feet across, and you're in the center, completely clear. There's nothing above you and around you. You're in the center of a pool of quicksand the size of this room, 25 feet across, and you're in the middle up to your nostrils and trying to pull your left hand with your right hand, thinking you can lift yourself out. That's tantamount to liberating yourself without the help of another master, a God-realized being. People say, well, can it be done? Go ahead and try. Well, so-and-so sat in a cave for 10 years and didn't have anyone. Anyone who has the discipline, the surrender, the focus, the devotion, the fortitude, the perseverance, the selflessness, the humility to sit in a cave for 10 years, believe me, beloveds, has standing room only in that cave. There are so many masters manifesting physically and appearing in that cave. They don't do it alone. That is sheer ignorance, surpassed only by the arrogance and stupidity of such a statement. It cannot be done without divine grace. Period. Period. We are in the age of the false prophet. Every religion in the world has said this. We are living in an age of tainted saints even, when even masters have been tainted by greed, corruption, darkness, complacency, vanity. Even people who themselves are liberated. Of course, it's always the darkest hour before the dawn. Do those words daunt you, scare you? They shouldn't. They need not. My hope is that they inspire you, because it's all up to you anyway. It's not about who's tainted and who isn't. Water seeks its own level. Lesser students draw lesser teachers, and everyone draws exactly what they need in every single moment. It's all up to you anyway, so you can't point at anyone or put the blame on anyone. But to continue deluding oneself to think you can go it alone, like this beautiful angel spoke, Finally, after years, this man has so much divine company and has had so many spiritual epiphanies and encounters with beings, living and in spirit. And for him to sit there and say, I finally get it, the penny dropped only today. Who am I kidding? That is born of humility. That is born of wisdom. That is born of descent of divine grace. That finally, okay, we're ready to play ball. We're ready to talk now. Beloveds, mark my words. The day will come, and most of you will see it in your lifetime, and much sooner than the end of it, when God-realized beings are as popular and as in demand as movie stars. They will be on television shows worldwide. They will be filling stadiums of 50 and 100,000 people. And they will be holding court with kings and queens. And heads of state and corporations will be crawling on a mile of broken glass to hear anything they have to say about anything, including the weather. So in demand will be people who live outside the wheel of karma, people who live outside the labyrinth of insane separation, because they are the ones who hold the keys to the kingdom. I'm calling a spade a spade. Let's put all the nonsense talk aside. You will live to see this. And in this age of the false prophets, there are so many people inside the labyrinth who have become so masterful at deluding others and deluding themselves that they themselves actually believe they're on the outside of the labyrinth. And they have painted murals on the inside of these brick walls that look like the outside, the land of freedom. And they've stared at those prison walls for so long that they actually believe they're on the outside. And then they build soapboxes and become famous and get a lot of money and a lot of fame and a lot of followers. And they have those people staring at the same brick wall, the inside of the prison in which they themselves live, that they're all believing they're on the outside. And now we have this huge movement. Everyone's a master and everyone's free and we're all ascended and it doesn't matter. And I think to myself, oh, dear God, like Jesus on the cross, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. But does it matter ultimately? No, it doesn't, because it's all perfect. It is all perfect. But I'm here to tell you that's not truth at the level of the absolute. The level of the absolute, you cannot pull up on your own hand in the middle of a pool of quicksand and lift yourself out of it. The mind is as cunning as the soul is masterful. The ego's favorite disguise is piety. And its greatest talent, the ego personality's greatest talent, is disguising its voice as the voice of God. It is a master at that. You cannot read your way into enlightenment. You cannot take drugs all the way into enlightenment, including shamanic drugs. You will not realize God through shamanic drugs, with all due respect. And you cannot just talk about it or window shop and hop around. Scattered investments bring scattered returns. At some point in some lifetime, everyone will fall on his and her knees at the altar of God and say, I give up. I cannot do this alone. Take me, show me, help me. The dawn of a new era begins in less than 30 minutes. You will see changes very rapidly, and you will see masters come into the limelight, into the public limelight very quickly now. Very, very quickly. Some who themselves don't know they're about to. Because the time has arrived.